You hate, if I could say that, some pieces of this bill, but you voted for it.
Got to take the wins that you can. For me, getting RECA passed, getting healthcare expanded in Missouri for these survivors. This is a multi-year journey, and this was the chance to do it. Listen, legislation, some parts you like, some parts you don't like. That's just part of the deal. You know, we've taken a first step, again, for my state, increased funding over the next few years. After that, we've got work to do to make sure these cuts don't go into effect. The cuts, the provider cuts that are now not going to affect Missouri until the 2030s, my goal is to make sure those never take effect, I'll be honest with you.
How?
Well, by legislation. I mean, listen, they don't affect Missouri until 2030, and between now and then, Missouri gets $1 billion in increased rural hospital funds. That's great for our state. But the truth of the matter is we shouldn't be cutting rural hospitals. I'm completely opposed to cutting rural hospitals, period. I haven't changed my view on that one iota.
You know how hard it is to legislate. It took you years to get this provision done. You think it's going to be easy to undo that?
Well, I think this. I think that when the reality begins to set in, that you could see a lot of rural hospitals get hurt really badly if you start cutting in 5 or 10 years. I think people will say, wait a minute, why would we do that? That is a mistake.
This is just amazing to me. He's saying wait for a few years for the people to wake up and recognize exactly what's going to happen with this cut. But then in the same time, it's like, isn't that why you're an elected official? Is you're seeing what can happen in the future of your state. You already know what's going to happen. And your thing is, well, maybe people's perception will change later on, which will then allow us to legislate and make the changes that, will not allow the Medicaid cuts to happen because, of course, these rural hospitals, which I'm telling you, man, these rural hospitals are going to be in extreme danger during these times. Then they will recognize it and, we won't do the cut. Really? Really? Yo, what's up with these politicians nowadays? These politicians, man, they are just passing bills and they're just doing it really because they're afraid of Trump. They're afraid of the fact that Trump is going to turn around and make them the next target. But we just need politicians, man. It just drives me crazy when politicians should just represent the state and do what's right for the state. And I understand what he's trying to say. He's trying to say, well, at least this is better than nothing. But yo, those cuts, those Medicaid cuts, is big and it's huge. And that's the most important thing for your state. Not just dangling some cash around in order for you to take it, but then the real issue is the Medicaid cuts is going to happen in the future. These politicians, man, are something else. It just blows my mind how they could just say these things. And he acts like, in a few years from now, he could legislate it. Who knows if he'll still be the senator? Who knows if he'll still be in position to make it? Who knows if Supreme Court or some of these politicians will find ways where they cannot do this? This is just the risk that people are taking so much of people's lives. And I'm not gonna lie, man, I'm tired of seeing it. Aren't you tired of seeing it? Aren't you tired of seeing how these politicians are just lying, completely lying to the people? And people are smarter than that. You guys are way smarter than that. You're starting to see what's happening. You're definitely starting to see what's happening, and you're knowing these guys are not looking out for you, man. They're looking out for themselves. They're looking out for their best interests. They always say they're doing it for the people, but at the same time, it's like, well, what is Trump going to say about it if I oppose it? Man, people just need to have some balls and just do the right thing for the people. And these politicians, man, they're not. They're not, right? They're just not. And it's unfortunate because you would think the people then would get together, right? The people in Missouri get together and vote for this guy out. But the problem is, then you might have to vote for a Democrat. Right? Or if Trump is saying he likes this guy, he wants to keep this guy, then you're not going to go against him either. People are just not going to vote against Trump. The stronghold that Trump has on these people is just amazing. It is just amazing the stronghold he has on all these politicians. At any moment, they could bow down and do everything he wants. And it does not matter if it's beneficial for the state. It just matters if it's beneficial for him. If it's a win for him, he's going to get that win. And the man loves battles. And they all know that. They all know he loves a good battle. So they try to, just curry favor some of the things that he wants to avoid it. But that's not what being a politician is about. Right? We all know that. But it's sad to say we don't expect that anymore. We already know they're not going to do what's right for the people. Well, drop a comment down below, guys, and let me know how you feel about all this. Do you feel like what he did was the right move? Or do you think it was a coward move? Drop a comment down below because I would love to read it. At the same time, hit the like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Catch you guys on my next video. Peace.